Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast on a Saturday, right after the a beautiful game that we just saw that was between the Wolves and Arsenal. Of course, most people know me. I'm a staunch Arsenal fan. I've always been an Arsenal fan from day one. And whenever we play, it's kind of hard to come to you people and and dissect certain issues. But we're here today. But of course, we're still on top of the league, and we don't know where Manchester United is, which is a very, I don't know, sad story for them. But all we know is Arsenal is still top. We're winning the Champions League as well. We're going to win the Premier League as well. So 2 cups this year. We gotta watch out for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that being said, I think we need to also look into have has anybody seen what's been going on in the news lately? Really, I'm surprised, and I've been thinking to myself, like, fancy fresh news, when it comes to the opposition. Like, if your position for you pode virar fine, if you couple it, opposition, yep. If you look at the own Secretary General, former Secretary General, Waba PF, Davis Miller, he was busy saying, or accepting the fact that our each pani natch, natch which pani, we're no longer going to have a patriotic front. right after the 2026 election. That's it. You know, no matter how much you want to swing it, you want to, dilute it, but he gave the honest truth and the bitter truth. And this is more like a bitter pill for the Patriotic Front to swallow. Now, where are we when it comes to the whole topic of the day? We know that, um, for the past 2 weeks, we've been dealing with the Constitution review. Constitution review, people are changing goalposts. I think people were just making arguments without actually reading the proposed amendments. Okay, they were just putting out arguments, and it's believed that people were just putting up certain arguments just because they felt like the UPND government shut down Bill 10, and out of just to respond to that, they should also shoot down Bill 7. Whether it's right or wrong, they just don't care. They just want to do something that is going to make them look like they are powerful opposition. But they don't realize that most Zambians now are more learned, are more educated, and they've come to a position where they're reading stuff almost each and every day, and they're understanding issues better than it was 10, 20 years ago. So, yeah, Bill 7, I think it was shot down when we were watching the interview between, or the debate between State Council Haimbe and Sikota, so Sakwila Scott. So there we saw just how ill-informed or how lawyers can twist stories. Because we have two lawyers here, two state councils. One is saying this, one is saying the other. Now, as an ordinary Zambian, who are you going to believe in? I'm going to leave it to you guys. You give me a minute, I'll be back. Oh, Mr. Chukwuka, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm just bringing Madani.
Okay.
Okay. All right, gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
we're back again,
Like
and
we never left, man.
some of us have been celebrating because we just won a game. Oh, uh, but Daddy, you're laughing. Why are you laughing?
Yeah. Now am I
Huh?
last
Oh,
minute win? We're
no,
champion. Am I champions, yeah?
that's how champions win.
Ah.
Maite wine chunguro. Eh? Mwalaba, Maite wine chunguro.
We
Eh?
struggled with the bottom team, sure, until 90 minutes.
Now, some of these small teams, it's just a training ground. We're just playing it to play. Well, we shall call this small league to play out. Try to see. It's a training ground. But at the end of the day, we won.
Okay.
That's what matters is the results, right?
Mhm.
Uh,
That's all that matters. It's the results. You
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Uh, I haven't really paid attention to the English league. I used to be a fan of that, but
Uh,
I just found that my team, Manchester United, when it started losing, I don't even know if they
oh,
have been relegated right now. I
yeah.
just like I can't sustain the embarrassment. I just bored out.
Yeah, but Manchester United now, yeah,
Uh,
they used to.
Soccer has become some kind of I mean,
uh,
it used to be even then. It has a lot of money involved in it. It's
oh yeah,
just not. These players are making lots and lots of money.
oh yeah. But in Europe, they pay them top dollar. They
Yeah,
pay them
they pay
top
them pretty
dollar.
much good
But
money actually.
in Zambia, it's a different story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So, gentlemen,
yeah.
we welcome you. It's a red tag. We're here. Let's continue from where we left off last week, and of course, we are looking at issues, that of course are still lingering in the atmosphere, which is of course the Bill 7, the debate that was between two state councils. I don't know if you guys watched the debate.
I know it's posted. I never had the chance to watch it. I just had come back. Actually, I was in Honduras. Um, I'd gone for a medical mission there, so I just came back. I never
Okay.
had the chance to sit down and kind of spend time on stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it. I heard it was very informative, so I'll look at it at some point.
Yeah, it was. Dr. Danny, did you watch that interview?
I watched part of it, not all,
But
but
no. Uh-huh.
the part that I watched was where the order state council was talking without facts, and then he was corrected.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite. It was Haimbe debated very well.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But Sikota didn't come there. He came there as an opposition leader, talking the same language as if he's not a
Mm,
lawyer, without facts and all those
mm,
speculations. And
mm.
yeah, so he continued being corrected, which
Yeah,
was
yeah,
quite. It was one-sided in my view because he was talking like the usual opposition talk
yeah.
of saying this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and then they're asking him, "Have you seen the document?" Said no.
Mm.
But why are you saying that this is going to
Mm.
happen when you haven't even read the document? So,
Which was very funny because when I was watching it, I was like, okay, uh, of course we were expecting something tangible from the
him
uh,
as a senior state counsel, yeah.
senior state council. We wanted to hear his opinion as a lawyer and
Yeah.
as a citizen of Zambia, not as a politician. You know, sometimes politics will come in the way, but sometimes you have to remove that that politician gown and put on your lawyer gown and just talk to the truth. And I thought the old man did, bring anything to the table because if you look at the way Haimbe was articulating issues, it was based on facts. He was even quoting the Constitution wherever he says something. But the old man was just simply just saying, oh, they should have done this and then they should have, but should have. That's not what, what
But
it is.
you gotta remember, the likes of Skotawina, it used to be Skotawina then, not anymore. I mean, these guys don't spend time to look at any kind of literature like Haimbe would. Haimbe is a millennial, if you want to call it that way.
Yeah.
So these guys are well informed and they're quick to grasp on things, and they are able to remember a lot of things and kind of share those kind of. I can imagine that this man, Vascota, is using his own grace. You know what I mean? It's like he used to be the Skotawina, which we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he can stand. They made a mistake. If he had to go there, especially on national television, I wish he had prepared himself.
Yeah.
But I think he went there with the old glory. Thinking that
Yeah.
I'm going to just like go the old way, and that's not Kurema facts. And then he gets confused. I'm not surprised that other people behave like that. He could have been a good lawyer in his old days, not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the youngsters have taken over.
Yeah. Sakwila, not Sikota, but Sakwila.
Sakwila.
That's
Sakwila Sikota. I'm sorry,
Sakwila.
Sakwila.
Yeah, Sakwila Sikota. Sakwila, yeah. I know Sakwila Sikota, the famous Sakwila. Yeah, Sakwila is a very famous lawyer in Zambia. I apologize.
He was UPND. He was vice president.
Yes, he was. I mean, these people were like the people in the old days, not anymore. Yeah. So,
and I wonder what led him to just jump and go somewhere else.
It's just they just all seek type of relevance to some kind. They don't want to go through them. In fact, these people can serve themselves better, in my opinion, if they had to, with the kind of knowledge and the stamina they've had in the country. If they had joined that kind of government, those guys will seem so relevant. But they try and challenge that and try to be on the other side. That way they can seem even more relevant individually. You cannot do it that way because, somebody, just like in a lion group or whatever, in a lion clan, how animals live is, a male lion stands up, only one stands at a time. You can't have two dominant male lions in the same group. Yeah. So they actually walk out and go and think that they can probably be relevant somewhere else, but ending up joining, the likes of EF and all these other guys who have no relevance. And guess what? They pretty much mortgage their own integrity. Like they just become terrible. They're like, come on. You're not the same person you used to be. People start looking at you what you watch chave when you have so much value.
Yeah. No, that was very embarrassing. That debate was very, very, like to watch it. I was expecting more from the senior statesman, but of course, like you're saying, the older you become, maybe I don't know, maybe you become less knowledgeable. But if you're a lawyer and they're still practicing, you should have information and you should be able to continue upgrading yourself, because how are you going to get clients?
You would think, but you see, they're lucky. Like I said, they use their old glory, so they have new lawyers in their team. So usually they're not the ones being in front of them. They just run the practice, and then younger people kind of take over from behind. That's like what his name Makebi Zulu is doing. Makebi Zulu's name is a big law firm, but it's because of his team, not him. He's a terrible lawyer himself, He's a terrible lawyer himself.
So what debate would he have? Because he wanted to debate the president.
Who? Makebi Zulu?
No. Sikota. He wanted to.
No, he can't.
He wanted, because his challenge. He came up on the internet, and the challenge was that I want to debate the president on Bill 7. So that's when Haimbe said that, look, the president is just so busy, he cannot come and attend to you and all that stuff. But I am up for the challenge, state council to state council. Let's debate. That's how this one came up. You see? So now I'm thinking to myself, like, what kind of debate would he have had with the president if he failed to have a debate with the Haimbe. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He failed really, like, terribly. Well, it was so disappointing. Like, he didn't bring up any, proper points. If you look at the interview, So what would he have sat down with the president?
Yeah.
What would they have said? Like, I don't understand.
No, but Haimbe, in terms of that debate, he was the best person to debate him because he had all the
Yeah.
facts, and he was the one basically leading the bill. So he was the right person to debate him.
Yeah, he was definitely. He was the most qualified person to stand in for the debate. You see, what they forget is that the president cannot debate some issues like that. Sometimes they don't even understand much of the constitution because there's another team that actually just advises him towards it.
Yeah.
And so we all have to be privy. They can't know everything, including economics and everything else. They just have to be there as a leader, and the group advises you, and then you become the person to speak about it.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. But to assume that the president himself is going to stand there and debate you issues of, I mean, obviously you probably wouldn't cite any clauses that you can remember better than you could, because that's your area of expertise, Mamana. So it didn't make sense that he was speaking to debate the president. Yes, Haimbe is the person who actually would be able to be in the right position to talk to him.
Yeah. That was
Oh boy, gee. That was very embarrassing for the state council. But anyway, hopefully next time he gets more well prepared and stuff like that. But
He better.
looking at
The
the debate on itself, I think there are a lot of issues that were ironed out, and a lot of questions, because a lot of Zambians have got that question to say, look, or there's the opposition, like we said even in the last interview, they are parroting the idea to say this amendment process was illegal, and the judge, the court of law, the court said that no, this is illegal, you don't do it and stuff like that. But when he was asked the question to say, show us where it is saying it was illegal, okay, he failed.
He didn't have facts. Yeah.
You see, he failed. He was just no. What they should have done was, they're like, okay, no, we're not debating on what they should have done. Okay, that's not what it is. What did the court say? What was the final judgment? Okay. So, same thing when I was watching the Law Association of Zambia president when he went to make submissions at Parliament. I don't know if you saw that one. I was also very, very disappointed with that one.
The thing is, the people that are opposing Bill 7, the reason one thing they're missing is this. The bill was withdrawn from the floor before that judgment was passed. And that's the thing they're not understanding.
Who's watching cartoons?
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's my little boy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's sitting very close to me. He's eating dinner right now.
Okay.
Sorry. I
apologize.
No problem. Go ahead.
The thing is, when that bill was presented to the floor, there were people that brought to the attention of the government that no, we need consultation, and the government withdrew it and then started doing the consultation. And during that time, that's when those guys went to the court and they started deliberating and doing all sorts of things. But you cannot deliberate on something which is not on the floor. It was already gone. It was out for consultation. So they were late, so to speak. So they want to bring that judgment which was passed. The judges were thinking the thing is still on the floor in Parliament, but it was not there. It was out there in the field already. It was already withdrawn.
So that makes sense. That's why they're saying it's illegal. So they're basing on something that's not actually.
Yeah, it wasn't there. Because when you look at the court, those statements from the court, they were saying, if this thing is still on the floor, it should be withdrawn. But that thing was already withdrawn. It was not on the floor. It was already in the consultative stages. The government had already withdrawn it, and they had started the process of consulting people. So it was that judgment cannot apply. It's like somebody says, whoever we find in this room is the one who has committed crime.
Yeah.
And then you go in that room, there's nobody there. But somebody's very far. But you said the one we find here is the one we are arresting for crime. So that judgment basically was empty. There was it can't apply to. That's why I was saying, when they were making that judgment, we had already listened to the people. We had already we had already started consulting people. So the judgment they're talking about, it can't apply to everything. So that's the reason.
Yeah, I didn't know that part either. So I was just wondering, it's like, what are they basing on the illegality of this thing on?
Yeah.
It didn't make sense for a while. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now you see, if you listen to what State Council Haimbe was saying, he actually articulated on it, really, like he said, look, what they were saying was they were just recommending.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because the constitutional court cannot just give certain kind of instructions. What the final decision or the final word, they were recommending for the bill to go through a process where there's more consultation. They were giving they tell them, like, look, if this bill has to go through, it needs to do A, B, C, D.
They say if this bill is in Parliament, if it's on the floor, it should be withdrawn and taken for more consultation. But the bill was not on the floor. The bill was already in the field of consultation.
So it's all they did was give instructions and give recommendations.
Yes.
There was nowhere where they said this is illegal and this is unconstitutional.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. That's why even was Sakwila when they asked it, like, look, can you tell us where it is saying, can you tell us where it's saying it is unconstitutional? He failed. He just said, no,
Yeah.
So how do you go to a debate and then you just say, oh, it's there. It's there. No, but look, the Zambian people are watching, they want to know. Okay, you guys are lawyers. That's why sometimes I think I'm like, I'm a lawyer. Sometimes I think they just go there anyway. I've been bent with so many lawyers. They've bent me so. I've spent so much money on these lawyers. I don't trust lawyers anymore. I'm telling you, I don't trust lawyers because I'm telling you, they would come up with so many good stories and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, all they want is money. So even him, when he went there, I don't think he went there as as a citizen of Zambia, but he just went there as a lawyer. He could just have said anything just to sound, like he's relating or hurting the opposition story. Which is, this thing was illegal. It is illegal. It shouldn't go forward. Blah 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 blah. When deep down his heart, he knows that.
We also have to seem to understand. Maybe give grace to the opposition. That is their role at the end of the day. Instead of just rubber stamping anything else, let them make some noise. let them create some kind of conversation in a way.
They should come up with real facts.
Yeah, they don't have any. Unfortunately, ours don't have any. The worst part is that somebody else latches onto that and moves with it. But it shouldn't be that case though. Most of the time, a lot of honestly, to be just fair, I think the most formidable opposition Zambia has ever had is the UPND. Starting all the way back, they've stood by principle, but they've stood by goals that they wanted for the country. Up until we got into power. But if you think about all these other comers, all these people changing hands from them, they just never were this way. Like they had absolutely no vision. All they needed to do was to change just one thing, and that's it. But it's not what the UPND has always been. And it's unfortunate the UPND the ruling parties were so afraid of UPND and they dominated them to the point where they suppressed them a lot. whereby they don't come out and be able to kind of air out most of their plans, most of their debates, and most of their grievances about anything else. In fact, all we have had chances of discussing like even the constitution changes and stuff like that, and send our people to this. Maybe people could have seen then that, well, you know what, there's a good opposition out there, but they weren't. Say wafe tu akwata ku Zambia, but now the current opposition that we have, my lord, is just it's pitiful. Like, why can't we be relevant for some reason? No matter, it's like they just don't have a stamina. They have no direction. They don't even know what they're looking for. All they do is to oppose everything and anything that comes out from any of these government things.
Yeah,
One last.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've just mentioned something. So I can tell you one thing. You mentioned Michael Sata.
Yeah.
You know, the PF of Michael Sata is different of the PF today and the PF when Balungu took over. That I can tell you.
Okay.
Because that time when Michael Sata was, you know, advocating, because even him was in the opposition for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when he was supposedly he won. I can't remember what day it was. You know,
Yeah.
but if someone nyonya, you know, so he has been in the position, and with him, he has had that sort of like he had that kind of a practical, vision of the patriotic front, what they're going to do and stuff like that. But when he died, that's when the PF died. The rest that came with no vision, like Abena Lungu and stuff like that, those are the ones that killed the opposition. They killed the patriotic front. That's when it died. Because, you know, you can imagine you as a leader, they're asking you, what plans do you have for the country? And you say, I've got no plan. How do you answer a question like that? I've got no plan. It's more like I'm saying you don't have a constitution, you don't have like you're just moving in blindly.
Right.
So that's where there's a difference, you know. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, look, we can give a little pat on the back of Michael Chukasata because of how he came out, how he came, and how he won the elections, you know, and how people voted for him. Okay, but he did not fulfill what he wanted to do because he died. But the people that remained are the ones that destroyed the. So the Patriotic Front are Jimunye, you know. Is what I'm saying now. And Davis Wheeler himself is saying, look, there will be no PF after 2026 election. And this is coming from Davis Wheeler himself. He just said it clearly. He said, look, the PF is gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
Gone to the gonest. You know, there's no more party. No matter how hard people will just start moving now, joining UPND, joining whatever and stuff like that. That's it. There will be. It's actually there's no PF right now. If a senior member like Davis Mwila can come up and say something like that, then he knows more than what we know. There is no PF anymore. And look at the opposition. Who's in the opposition right now that we can point a finger to say this is the powerful opposition? There's nothing. I mean, you're looking at the Nashala Neka parties. That's the opposition that's out there. Manashala Neka party. You know, people they're just one man. You know, you have a few cousins. You know that do your blogging and stuff like that, and you say a political party.
Yeah.
Dr. Danny.
Yes. I like the way Davis Miller is coming out nowadays. In the sense that he's being truthful. He says the way it is. For example, he's telling people that the PF is in the hands of Chawinga. If we want to start fighting to bring it back and for us to stand on the PF ticket. We have to make peace with Chawinga. There's no other way. Otherwise, we're not going to be on the ballot. He's telling the PF that. And he's also telling them that, look, if we want to be on the ballot come 2026, we just have to stand, let's unite with a smaller party, run under them, and that's the only way our candidates can go through. Otherwise, if we continue talking about this PF thing, we will not even be on the ballot. Because if Chawinga says no to our candidates, that's it.
That's it.
So he's very truthful. He's just being honest about the whole thing. But some people are saying, no, we are still PF. Chawinga doesn't have people following. But Chawinga is a legal president. He's the one who's going to endorse the candidate for PF. So Mwila is just being honest. He's just being honest. And I'm surprised one time he was being interviewed by IP, whatever they call him.
Yeah, he went to IP, Innocent Theory.
He said the best thing that has ever happened to Zambia is for PF to lose. He said it was a good thing for us to lose. That's what he said. Davis Mwila said it on IP's. Yeah. He said because the way we were going as a country, we were going in a ditch. And the best thing that has ever happened is for us to lose. It was a good thing for Zambia. And I said, this man is very, very... Yeah, he said it. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Mwanza. Welcome, Mr. Mwanza.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah.
We're good. How are you?
Sorry. Okay, just recovering from flu, but I'm okay.
Oh.
And a little bit of asthma, congestion, but I'm okay. I'm not able to talk much, but I'm okay. How about everybody? How is everybody?
We're doing fine. We're doing fine. Yeah. Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
The weather's changed. It's getting cold now. So.
It was brutal. It was -40 in the morning.
Oh boy.
Wow.
-40 there?
That's Celsius, yeah. Oh, Winnipeg, you are guaranteed on the
God. We never reach those kind of,
I don't know if that's sustainable to life, though, but that's life sustainability.
This region.
If it was in Africa, it would be natural disasters.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
No, you should move to where I am, Niagara region. That's where you need to move.
I want to come to Puerto Rico, not Niagara.
Puerto Rico. Dr. Dan, you see, everybody now wants to come and join you.
Here is 26 degrees right now.
Okay. Yeah.
26 degrees throughout the year.
Oh, wow.
Pardon me?
It's very, very
no, in summer actually it is very, very hot. Manitoba has a lot of water bodies like Minnesota. Yeah, so it's hot and humid, but it's short. It's only October, probably October and a little bit of July. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we were just discussing about the Patriotic Front, the opposition, the debate that was there. Between the two state councils, Haimbe and state council, Sakwila. So just thinking that, he didn't give us, enough to ride on being a state council, senior state council, for that matter. And that's what we were just debating. And I don't know if you saw that interview.
Yes, I did. I was actually watching it last night.
What are your thoughts on that? What's your take?
I think kudos to Honorable Haimbe, and he really prepared for the debate. And what I don't understand, whether it's Oasis and all these people who are saying Bill 7 is or against Bill 7, I think the approach is wrong because they hammered the process, okay? So we know the content, okay? So what about if the process is fixed? Then what? So now they are in a problem because they now start talking about the process, and that process has been rectified in terms of consultations. And it is consultation. I mean, there are witnesses, consultation. They went around the technical committee. They don't have anything in terms of the content. So Sakwila went with that same strategy and approach. He can't even quote anywhere on any specific item. He's just speaking in general terms. It's so embarrassing that even a state council can go to a debate and not even carry a copy of the court ruling. The one that you're going to base your arguments on. You don't even have it. Not even the constitution. Not even to say, Mwana Haimbe, Pesego copy yako, there's somewhere read on page 13. No. So it means they don't have it. You know, the same thing with the last time it was, what's this guy? Kasonde.
That was horrible.
Yes, yeah.
Can you give me?
Yeah, so they don't have. The only person that actually I've read who kind of gave content in terms of the clauses or articles in Bill 7 is the Chakafunswa. And he explained it in very simple language. If one of you guys can Google it in Facebook, but I'm not saying I agree with him or not, but at least he went item and item, so you understand for the common person the dangers of it. Some of it really is only dangerous in the sense when you have a leader like Lungu, he may abuse the system. But these others, they're just talking about the process, nothing specific. So I think Haimbe did very, very well. Sakwila wanted to debate HH. Does he know how HH debates? I think
I was saying, like, look, he brought out a challenge to debate HH. Okay? But what was he going to debate HH with? Because he failed to debate with it. Haimbe. He failed completely. He lamented him, failed. So what was he going to debate with?
I don't know. So these guys, the vote is when? On Monday?
Monday, Tuesday, somewhere there.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let it just go to Parliament. If we have the numbers, I hope we have the numbers, because I don't want us to lose and these guys will have something to celebrate, because this kind of united them. Okay, there's something in common. So if we lose, they'll say, "Yeah, you see what let them just lose," because there's nothing they have told us that they don't like about Bill 7 other than the process. Yeah.
You know, that's an honest fact. There isn't anything wrong with the bill aside from the process.
But the process, the government started it even before the court ruling.
Yeah. So those recommendations that the court said, go to the people. They went to the people.
Yeah.
Have a committee. They had a committee. Have a consultative process. That's what has been happening. So they checked all the boxes of what the court ruling recommended.
The late court ruling. The court ruling came after the government had already made that initiative to check the thing to the people on their own.
So at this point, there's nothing to argue about, because most of the Zambian people want to see this go through. Okay, so if one individual says, "No, I don't like it because it's ABCD," or they don't understand it, it doesn't mean that the majority of Zambians that's what they're thinking. No. You can imagine this.
So I want to say something here, Dr. Danny. What you said about the ruling was done after that thing was already removed out of Parliament.
And it was
I think we need to hone that point very clearly, because everyone is holding on to that and using it. So why not go to the TV, one of our spokespeople, and say that was actually removed the first time around, and the ruling that the Concord had given was for that reason, and then it was removed by the time. So all these people that are coming up with all these things that are saying they said it's illegal, it's not, because that ruling is not. They should really have to clarify that.
Lars, that's what Lars was told that in Parliament when they
Yeah.
because Lars was still saying they
Yeah.
are the custodian of the law.
Oh,
And
that was so embarrassing, eh?
Yes, they told them, Lars, what that ruling was referring to what? Oh, to the bill. Where was the bill? It was in. They're already sitting in Chipata. They were already. So you want to apply the advice from the Concord, whatever, when the government was already doing what the advice was they were talking about. They had already said, okay, we are going to do these consultations. So you can't come and say, oh, the court has said us, but we are already doing what the court is saying.
And the Concord didn't say stop the process.
No, they advised.
Yeah, I just said wider consultation, which they're already doing.
They said you should go for wider consultations.
Yeah.
And the government was already doing that.
Now, it was so embarrassing, Dr. Danny, when you just mentioned the Law Association of. But here's what we need to understand: it's not the whole organization. It's just one president, who's the president that I forget his name, and with certain.
I think it's Lungu or something. Is it no Lungu?
Period.
Zulu something.
Zulu.
Lungu. Okay. Yeah, and certain CSOs, not everybody. So they looking like, I think they were sort of like trying to make it political and come to there, because look, he went there because they said they invited him, and the reason for that committee is for people to go and make submissions.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of that. The selected committee.
You wanted to change the rules.
You make your submissions. He went there and started lamenting. Started talking about this, that, oh, the process wasn't good and stuff like that. And then in his own documents that he gave them, he had submissions. And then when they said, okay, fine, you have lamented, what about the attachment here in this document where you put your submission? He said, no, that one, forget about it. I'm just going to talk about it from page 1 up to page 5. But this document is up to page 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? No, forget about the other pages. So, and I was very impressed with the Honorable Wamunyima. He looked at him, is like, you're coming here to make submissions. Okay? And the whole process, or the whole reason of all this, is for people to come to make submissions.
Yeah.
Okay? Whether they're wrong or right or whatever, but you're saying, okay, I will just lament and cry about, oh, the process was bad and that, but you don't want to make submissions. You've got a document, but you don't want to talk on the document that you've submitted. Okay, so that was a little bit funny.
That's why they chased them. They said, "Go. We are removing your immunity, whatever, because you don't want to come on. You've come here for something else. So bye."
Actually, just to add on to the last, I hear they have an extraordinary meeting because members are not happy that what they agreed was what the Lungisan is Zulu, that's his name. Yeah. So he didn't have that mandate. He was supposed to go and submit to the Bill 7, not what he was talking about.
Yeah, you can even tell that this guy obviously he's got some other hidden hand or other ulterior motive, because that it didn't even make sense. Even me, when I was watching that, I was like, hey, wait a minute.
What he should have done was to submit what he brought.
Yes.
And then say, in addition to that, I have extra things to talk about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for him, we said, if it's like that, I'm not submitting anything. Okay, go then. They told him, and when they remove your immunity there, you are vulnerable.
Yeah.
So when they say we have now lifted the immunity we have given you, so whatever you're going to say will be used against you in the court of law. You just have to take off. Yeah. Because now they have stripped you of your protection in there. You're on your own.
Wait. That was so fun.
No, I'm just listening through. I'm just listening to it's an interesting thing, but I think I think one thing that our country has not done well, maybe not our country, our government has not done very well, is the idea of trying to make pronouncements very clear to the public about things. I feel like maybe they assume that the people already know, or
Yeah.
they'll figure it out. But I think that's a sense of complacency, in my opinion, and it's not going to cost us very well in the long run, because honestly, just like somebody was saying, there's a lot of things that this new government, the UPND government, has done from 2021 to date, not only about the economy and all these investment stimulations and law and order and everything else, but these are things we should sit down there and parody out constantly. They have to constantly parody. If anything else, compare and contrast. Throw in some commercials that look like this is what we were, this is where we are now. Especially things like lawlessness. Put them on national television. Do it like that. All those biddings and everything else, and look at how peaceful the country looks now. See, try and use those things to your advantage. It's not hurting anybody. It's just saying this is how we are working and this is what we are doing. And when it comes to making pronouncements, especially about this Bill 7, this Bill 7 thing is, to so many people, it's a good thing. And if you look at it, it's got a lot of good things in it. But sell it the right way. Get it out there, and where people are questioning, explain it. Put people to explain in local languages and anything else, so that you can do, like, put it so public that don't assume people would figure it out. But we haven't done a lot of that. I'm not sure if there's even a sense of agency in trying to do it, or are we going to continue going this way? So it's kind of it's like, it's one of those things, you're watching and biting your nails, like watching Arsenal playing against whichever team they're talking about. Biting your nails, not sure how the game is going to end. It's not right, because we have so much power and we have so much.
Don't bring Arsenal in this kind of politics. We have to become into politics.
I mean, it's just like, I'm just trying to give an example, but seriously, I mean, we can do better. But I think there's many ways we can put a lot of accomplishments that people would see than to be on defense all the time. We are completely on defense constantly.
Yeah. And we've been, sorry about that, we've been that from opposition up to this day. I always give this example. This example of Munyogo. It's silly, but this is exactly our weakness. It took 3 weeks of people saying HH insulted. No one in the system could quickly come and say it's not an insult in Tonga. In the same way, even in Nyanja or saying that Banda used to say that in Damazanyoko. You see, so that's our weakness, because we've done a lot of things, but no one knows about it. We're always reacting to Emmanuel Mwamba or some of these clowns. We are not proactive in making these pronouncements and really package it and the vuvuzela to the ordinary person to understand.
Correct. And we have a lot to give out there. And if they are waiting until last minute to do it, it's going to be too late, because people would have believed all the nonsense that's out there.
Yes.
Mama, that's a problem. That's, it's really difficult to convince somebody to say, oh, wait, look at this. We did this. Oh, well, but we need somebody new. They won't even look at that, because they haven't had the sensitization of looking at where we came from and where we are today. And we have a lot to give and put out there, but we just don't have the tools to actually put it out there. It's just kind of disappointing in a way.
To me, I've observed something regarding what we are saying. We are all agreeing on that. We need to disseminate information more effectively, especially in a simplified manner. For example, I support Mwetu as our government spokesman, but the way he has during his press conferences, an ordinary Zambian he can't understand what he's trying to explain. For example, he was trying to explain the same Bill 7, that it wasn't in the House when the government had already taken it out and all that. But he's so technical in his dissemination of information that an ordinary person on the street will not get it. the message. I like the simplified way of communicating. Even if you are communicating in English, this guy, what's his name? Lusaka Central Province, is it Mwaliteta? What's his name?
Oh, yeah, that's my man.
Mwaliteta is a good communicator.
Yes.
He can put the information straight. You can understand what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, that type of communication. He uses English and Nyanja and everything together. I just wish we could have a government spokesman like him. Things would be so simple and many people would understand. When Mwaliteta talks, he simplifies things.
Yeah.
Very straight. Very straightforward.
That is so true. But
before everybody goes in, we got the voice that matters has just joined us, which is Vakalinda. The voice that matters.
Okay.
Where was she?
She's just joined us. Of course, you know, she was celebrating. We just won.
Celebrating the 90th minute.
A win is a win. A win is a win.
Yeah.
A win is a win. Vakalinda, Shani on it.
Before anything else, like I always do these days, let me sing my song, okay?
Even snow.
These streets are run. Okay, I'll leave it there now. Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing?
We are doing fine.
Yeah.
We are doing about to.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We are doing handy.
Yeah, we are snorting over here. It's not nice.
So, Vakalinda, to bring you up to speed,
tell me what's going on.
We've been discussing the issue of there was the huge debate between two state councils.
I watched that one, and unfortunately, my grandfather, Mr. State Council Sakwila Sikota, lost miserably. I was waiting for him to say, because I've covered him in court before, and he used to say, "Milord, Milord." That's what I was expecting to hear from him. Come on, now, as a lawyer, shouldn't you go there with all your facts in the raw? He couldn't quote anything from the political. Yeah, that's unfortunately that's where we are. Everybody has just. I know. I mean, Sikota. Let's just look at him. The man is bitter because guess what? HH beat him at the convention to become the UPND president. So that's where he's.
That's from it.
Yeah, that's where he comes from. Sikota was UPND vice president.
Yeah.
And so when the Mazoka died, HH won. And since then, Sikota has never been the same.
It's been never been that.
Yeah, he hates HH with a passion. Let's just say it what it is. So he will oppose anything at all that HH says. That's just him. So, the thing is, the backstory there is that he actually wanted HH to come and debate with him on Bill 7. And then he got a challenge from that young man, our foreign affairs minister. He says, no, you can't debate HH. How about we do a state council to state council debate? And that's how that, debate came into being. But unfortunately, my grandpa was exposed miserably. I'm sure he would never accept another, challenge like that. I can guarantee it.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think so. I do not think so because the politics that the old man is used to are the old ones that if you look or remember, the general, what was his name again? General. I don't know. Bamianda.
Bamianda, yeah.
Those kind of politics. Explain it into. They're explaining one thing for 1 hour. Most of explain one thing. Those politics are gone. The world has moved. and the world has evolved, and people, especially the young people, they want to grasp. They're getting things at a real, like, snap of the fingers. That's why even like, if even just give an example, you're going out of tangent, but even look, even music. They don't want to listen to a song that is going to last for like 6 minutes, whatever. They would rather listen to a song that maybe to 2-3 minutes. That's it. There's no like a melodies, that thing is all gone.
Oh, my Chilufia, come on now. We love the long songs. Come on now. Anyway, let me not go there. You're talking politics.
I'm just talking about
my brain was taking me somewhere else.
Hey, I'm just talking about how the young people are getting the information, right? Me and you may love that, but the young people, nowadays. That's why they're getting surprised. Why university students, college students, they're going to Bali for solidarity. They're going to him. Why? Okay, I can give you an example. One time he was on Radio Phoenix. He was saying that ngavakupere inanikane wali wanama. Okay, and then wasuna vyorutoshi. Before taura shina nkane kutobera musupu. Baso wakoeba tawe twakupoka inanikane tawali ko bwaji. Kuti wachireka. So those are the things, like they were used to those kind of things. They want to get it happen if you get into all these views, and that ask when we steal for the family. It was still for the family, and still for the future. If my wife's perfume is the cost of her perfume is the rent of a week. I have a journalist. You rent perfume here. You see, so people are kind of mushroomed in those kind of things. But nowadays, the young people want to get information at the snap of their fingers.
Well, so the other thing that we may not be privy to about Mr. Sakwila Sikota, Sakwila Sikota is a very well-known lawyer, and in the old days, he's never been known to be a good debater, just like Mwanawasa was not also. But Sakwila Sikota's majority of the cases that he won them on technicalities. He could corner like the people that is defending, or people that whatever plaintiffs to the court. He could corner them to a point where on technical grounds he won the cases. So he has never been known to be a good debater. So I don't even know when he said he was going to be debating. Even HH is a good debater because he's very very much. He can actually think through stuff before he speaks. That's a good part about it. So it's like anybody who can dare to try and stand with HH is just really, really trying to bury himself. They don't know what they're getting themselves into. But I was surprised that he was even saying that he could debate HH because he himself is not a good debater naturally. But he could win on technicalities. He could have taken, maybe they could have taken HH to task by, quoting some of these, codes or whatever they have in legal language that HH might not be privy to if he had to. But other than on a one-to-one on issues, I don't think anybody would stand a chance on him.
To me, I think what he was trying to do was to get some fame amongst themselves, amongst the Tonse and all these guys, that this is the potential leader we can choose.
Okay,
I think he was trying to build his own reputation amongst themselves, but he ended up messing up. So I don't think anybody would be looking at him as a potential leader in their groups.
The next one is Marukula on a debate. I don't know debate.
That's a bad one. Also, he's a really bad. Have you ever heard of interviews?
Marukula, I don't know what he wants.
But he was hammered yesterday by Chief Nyarugwe. Did you watch that?
No.
What happened? No.
Oh, he went to he paid a courtesy call to Chief Nyarogwe, and he was on him. He says, "You are campaigning here. What? Where's the body for Lungu?"
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, he told him right there, that like directly, like.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and he even said, his burial place has already been prepared at Embassy Park.
Mm.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that was just like
I think
okay.
even Makebi Zulu, they don't realize what they're doing. They don't realize that people are not actually with them. They think that people are going to support us, whatever we're doing. But they don't know that the people are actually against it. Even the PF themselves, they want to see a Lungu be buried.
Zambians have moved on, my dear. Zambians have moved on. And
they have.
like I stated last week, when they decide, whenever that is, to bring that body to Zambia for burial, that's going to be the saddest burial ever. Because people won't care. I'm telling you. They won't care at all.
Their plan was to say people will vote for them so that Lungu's body comes back. That's why they said we'll bring Lungu's body when we win in August. So that they thought when they say that, people are gonna say, okay, let's vote for them so that we bring our president back for burial. They thought the two are gonna sink. But now they continue
like
saying
that.
it, and people are not responding in the same way.
Things like that.
That's what
Lungu was the most hated person ever. I mean, look at it this way.
That's why they wanted to use the body for. They wanted to say, people, we are bringing in the body in August. Vote for us, and you're going to see your leader here. We'll bring the body. So that people now will start saying, okay, let's vote for you so that we bury Lungu in Embassy Park.
Yeah, they miscalculated. They
miscalculated. There's no link between the two.
Can I just right on that, Doc? I mean, who thinks like that? I mean, politics is about numbers, right? So if Lungu got 0 at State House from the people who were protecting him, what does that tell you? That in death those zeros will turn to millions? People just don't care.
All Lungu supporters were going to vote for them so that they bring the body.
That's not going to happen. People have moved on. I mean, they should just heed to David Miller's advice. I think it's timely. Otherwise, I mean, in August, they'll find that they don't have a candidate.
Yeah, that's what Miller is telling them.
Yeah. Form your own party and then just come up with one candidate and move on. There's no more PF.
Yeah, PF is dead.
We want to call this. I think this is I think I'm going to give it call it as it is. Imitimasha so nishe imitimasha kwebati. Okay? Because you cannot have this kind of thinking or this kind of there's no way in the world or nowhere Zambia doesn't matter whether you're from the east, west, north, south, or whatever. You know? You start using amakaya chiro chiratawe lekeni number to pasanganya into to stendanikane we create confusion. No. The family of the Lungu family, Makebi Zulu, Malukula, and everybody. And as a matter of fact, I can just even blame it all on the Lungu family. Because Makebi Zulu is just an outsider, just a lawyer. And I know how lawyers are. Like I said, I've lost a lot of money through lawyers. But they will just be riding with you as long as they're the meter is ticking. They're making money. They don't really care. But Arena Lungu family.
Don't say that to a lawyer. He'll kill you.
But look, But look, the fact of the matter is this. Avena Lungu family, what they've done is something that has never been done in Africa. And the whole world is looking and saying, like, in their heads, really. Even if you hated somebody like HH with a passion, why you can just say, however, let's just do the right thing. Okay? This thing that they've done is going down in history to say there was one president and a family that did not want for their for them to be buried in their home country because they hated one Tonga president. Because that's what it's all about. That's what he was even saying. There will be a president, but not this Tonga one. So, if you look at it, they have messed it up for themselves. And the people of Zambia, if they were looking for a sympathy vote, because Avena Zambia Vene. Now, nefiriamba fyashishani fyapwa twalila filamba fyapwa twalila. What next? That's why there's all this argument whether he's dead or not, or whatever. If he's there or not, or people have moved on. They were trying to make HH look bad. Okay? They were trying to say, oh, HH, HH, Shani, so that they mess him up. You know? But the people of Zambia have just seen and realized that, however, the problem is not HH. The problem is not the government. The problem is the Lungu family, Marukura. And then, what do? He comes here to say, I want to be the president of Zambia. You want to be the president of Zambia? You've left the border in South Africa, and you're coming here to say you want to be the president of Zambia. Look, the people of Zambia, they're reading through your lies.
Yeah, his motives were pretty known, but again, as much as we can say the Lungu family and all that kind of stuff, I think the Lungu family and Makebi Zulu, when they sat down, they thought, especially because the Lungu's wife and his daughter were pretty scandalous, so they have a lot of scandals that they thought needed to be covered or protected from. So it seems clearly that maybe their concept of being trying to wait it out until they can actually throw in Makebi Zulu as the anointed one to come out and lead the PF pack. It was all miscalculated. Basically, they just it was such a wrong calculation on their part.
How much do you think they gave Makebi Zulu to come to?
Quite a lot. I mean, he knows all the scandals. He knows all these kind of things. These guys, man.
I'll even be laughing because look, I even know myself that I can't win HH. Where in the world can you get like Makebi Zulu? They stand one-on-one with HH.
Well, but here's the thing: the PF is a group of stupid people. I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry, forgive me for saying that, but I just feel like PF they're so backwards that they really thought Lungu owned it. And it's interesting that Chawinga is coming up and trying to be his own man, but they just literally thought like Lungu owned it. So his death, they thought it was going to filter into either all the way to his daughter for leadership of the PF. And for some reason, all these people are these people are like holding on to the PF structures. They all looked up to that. This is the way the structure is going to fall under. And I was like, what is wrong with these people? They can't just come up with, amongst themselves and anoint somebody else who was in leadership and move on. No, they don't. They cannot do that because they all waited that Lungu held the party together and his death was going to filter down to his daughter and with a wife anointing someone else, at least if the daughter is not ready. But they all waited for that, so miscalculated. And it's very evident that's exactly what they were doing because they were doing nothing. South Africa, because they never even at any point in time ever seen the body, but they went there with the pretext that Lungu was in a morgue somewhere, which is not true. He wasn't. So nobody even knows where the body of Lungu is. Maybe even the wife doesn't even know.
Somewhere in Belize, chilling on an island.
Yeah, maybe the wife doesn't even know where the body is. But those guys are crooks, man. I don't even know. It's crazy. It's so pitiful. I don't know.
But Dr. Daddy.
Yeah.
London, I don't know.
Can I just come in for a minute before the girl comes?
Go ahead.
I mean, I just want to make a really earnest appeal to. I mean, she's here now. Because here she's called Shinene, somebody, Shaniqua.
You always say that. Is that really true?
I mean, yeah. She's Shaniqua Boykins. That's her name here. I mean, I want to appeal to Tassilo Lumbu Dennis as somebody who my father has been dead for 25 years. Okay, I still love that man, and I wouldn't want him being kept in a mortuary going on to 7 months. And you come here, to do whatever you are doing over here. I mean, what kind of a daughter are you to leave your father rotting in a morgue in South Africa, and you come here to the U.S. to live the good life? I'm pretty sure, I know you have scandals all over, issues in court and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure if you just pick up that phone call and call HH and tell him in earnest, and truthfully, tell him you're sorry, whatever you've done. Can you please take whatever you've stolen, but leave something for me just to live on, because I can't get a regular job. I'm sure he'll work something out.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
HH is not an unreasonable man. He's not an
He's not an unreasonable person. I'm sure he will hear you out. Please stop this nonsense. Stop holding Zambians as hostage over your father's body. Just, come on. Let your father go and rest in peace in his motherland. That's my earnest appeal.
It looks like Mwanza is having problems with internet.
Yeah, it's keep on cutting and I'm logging back in and so on. Yeah.
Internet even amaenge.
Even amaenge. Yeah. I'll sue them. Use the Sikota as my lawyer. I would like to add what Akalinda said. This is also my take. These guys have cases, okay? So Lungu dies. You can still use the body, but use the body smartly and effectively, okay? The same Malukula or the daughter and whoever you want to use, talk to HH. Even Malungu can pick up a phone and call Bamutinda. My husband has died. We have issues. He was straight. You put a spin. He was stressed and blah, 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 blah. Is there a way out of this? You get my point? Yeah, I mean, even Manawasa did the same with the Chiruba. It says retain 50%, then a lawyer, but there are ways of circumventing these things, right? Or going around these things. Mm-hmm. You use the body. The cases may be dropped. Maybe some of it you keep, some of it they will take away. Like Mama Lung, the wife, out of, say, for example, the 15 flats, they can give you 5, maybe get 10. Those cases could maybe, that's my opinion. HH is not unreasonable. Yeah, in the situation, if they're done it immediately,
Or you're dropping off, Mr. Oscar.
Well,
Yeah.
what we don't understand also is that HH, not only is he not unreasonable, but he will not accept any kind of illegal arrangements like that. It's too straight.
That's what I wanted to
No,
say.
but yeah.
He wouldn't do that.
But here's the thing. You know, HH has actually he brought a policy to say, look, if you have stolen, if you come to us to say, okay, look, nali rufianya, okay?
He said,
Can
give
you
it back to us.
you know,
It will be free.
can you give me a break? Okay, money, let it into fuel for waiva, and then to arrive. Okay, that's another way. Okay, but now, you know, I've been thinking to myself. You know, I always when I'm on the internet, she's always doing this, you know, philanthropical work, you know, humanitarian work. You know, where she's going to, you know, register donate here and there and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, look, the last time I saw it was the time of Vera Chu. Vera Chu was very active actually that time.
Yeah, my internet is bad. Okay.
You know, doing things like that. And then I'm thinking to myself, I was like, what did we? Kalungu, when the time of bonanza, time of all this money was happening, Esther Lungu going to help out in the community or doing all these kind of
what are you talking about, Lucia? My Esther Lungu spent $3 million to come over here to receive that relic fire truck from the city of Los Angeles. I mean, that was, you know, that was a charity work.
Yeah. Please. Oh my good Lord.
No, let Mamaza speak because he's having internet issues. Let him finish his thought. Mr. Martha.
No, I'm just saying, like, look, I'm just thinking to myself, because I saw, you know, Vera Chuluba, you know, she was, you know, like she was very, very, very Hope Foundation and all that stuff, you know, and you can tell that somebody is doing something because, you know, they want to help out the community. And we saw there was a lot of money in the PF government, a lot, but the money was just going in the cadres.
Well, the PF was a criminal enterprise. Criminal enterprises don't work like government. You got to remember that. It's one for himself and everybody else that can figure it out. That's exactly how they were doing. It was all a criminal enterprise. When he can send, what's his name, this Bonanza guy to go and on a private jet to withdraw cash in dollars and bring it home, you would think he doesn't know anything about that. So all that much money, obviously maybe half or 70% went to him and his family, and then Bonanza got the rest of it and bought helicopters. You know, money how it is. Money is very bad. This is why, like, remember, I do remember, I was actually a lot younger banker that at the time in Zambia. There was this called Ringo. If you heard about Ringo, stole 300,000 kwacha. He was a security guard, I think. Do you guys remember that he stole money from the Barclays Bank? Remember? I don't know. Well, way back on the Copper Belt. It was a very big story. I don't know how you don't remember, but it was there. So there was
Ringo. Yeah, I think I remember the name at Ringo.
Yeah, Ringo was the security guard. Like, so Anderson Securities were actually getting. I used to work for Meridian Bank at the time. So Anderson Securities were getting money from commercial banks or to the central bank. Somehow they're transferring money from one commercial bank to another. So Ringo, they came to the commercial bank, which is Zambia, Barclays Bank at the time, and they got all this cash in armored vehicles. And ended up now, instead of taking it to delivering to another commercial bank somewhere, it ended up being diverted to the compound. The first thing Ringo did was to buy sausage from a butchery. He was arrested eating the sausage before the money was actually taken anywhere. Oh my God. So anyway, this is the funny story, but this is what money does. So I'm thinking of with this Bonanza guy, he gets all these millions of dollars. How much more can you put out there, outshore accounts, outshore everywhere in this world? You can go anywhere, all these legal countries like Mexico and stuff, and put money there. But then you go to Zambia, you buy helicopters. Like, dude, what are you going to do with helicopters in
Those
Zambia?
I'm telling you the truth. Even that's why Davis Miller was saying that they did not believe that they're going to lose power.
It was a criminal enterprise.
They
Basically,
were
that's the
thinking
whole
that
reason
they
why it
were going to
operated
be
like
there
that.
forever. That's what their mind wasn't losing. That's why they were doing things like that. Because they didn't know that they're going to lose. They didn't know.
I
Okay.
know. Yeah, that's a funny story for another day. Like you buy helicopters. He would fly from Lusaka to the Copper Belt. He used to live in Kitwe somewhere, and we're parking at the primary school grounds. And
Mhm.
then a vehicle picks him up to take him home, to sleep home, and they end up again going back to Lusaka. And that's how this guy was traveling. Every day he went back to the Copper
Gero,
Belt.
amagero, yaramafuleki kujya mutamba
And then he had 14 slave queens everywhere in every kind of corner of Kitwe. All of them like driving all these big vehicles and
not
good
not not
housing and things like that. Like
not
that's
even
what
Kitwe,
money does.
everywhere. This is everywhere. We're talking about everywhere. Lusaka, Shani, Konse, amafuleki varavompera omuchinchi pa internet bali. Valeria nankwe, Valeria nankwe, Valeria, you know.
Come change by internet.
Oh,
That's an
I'm telling you,
interesting thing.
those ladies, they on Facebook, some of them, I'm a superstar, I'm a models. Oh my God. Bali jasa nenda mashakwe, bali shiria. You know, that's why they can even, maybe say a prayer for him. But anyway,
Yeah.
uh, can we talk about the Queens? I think we can at least today dedicate a few minutes for Queens. You know,
Well, there's a developing story also
Mhm.
that I saw. As you know, I don't have a social media much, but I saw a developing story that the U.S. government was trying to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Zambian government to help in health sector and all those other things. A whole lot of money. I think is it $2 billion that they
Not
are
signed, they
committed.
have signs.
So I believe it has not been signed because the US said there's a little bit conversation regarding minerals.
No, that it's been signed. It's been signed. So it was already
No,
been signed.
no,
It's already
it
been
wasn't
signed.
signed. It wasn't signed.
Okay,
It hasn't been signed?
what's the truth about this?
No.
Oh no! The thing is, the assistant secretary, what's his name? Secretary of State was in Zambia this past week, where he announced that the U.S. government was giving Zambia $2 billion to help in the health sector. That was the biggest announcement I think that I picked
Yeah,
from
as a grant,
the
correct?
yes,
So
as a grant.
there are two deals here. There's a grant that is going to go into health sector, and that's going to go into Millennium Challenge. Of course, we know that the Millennium Challenge project. The government of the United States, well, the U.S. government is supporting Millennium Challenge. So this one I know for sure. Millennium Challenge, the deal that they just signed, the MOU, and
Yeah.
also health sector.
Okay, so I know the one that Chiwamba Kanyama signed a few days ago at the embassy with the the
Yeah,
American companies.
yeah.
Yes,
That's
I
what I
know
mean.
of that one. That is a different one.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
there are two
different one.
deals. There are two deals. There's the one for the grant, because a grant is a grant is a grant. There's no need for complications or for signing and stuff like that, right? There's no memorandum of understanding when it comes to a grant. A grant is one party coming here to say, okay, guys, we're going to give you this. That's it. Now the other one, where there's a memorandum of understanding where Chibamba Kanyama it actually was signed. I saw him sitting signing.
Yes, that is true. But there is one that has been held back that I don't know which one it is. I believe it's the MOU regarding the health sector. But I don't know why all of a sudden it's being a grant is being attached
There
on
is,
MOU
there
that
There
it's
is,
is,
been held
the,
because
the,
there's a misunderstanding or something that has not been agreed upon.
it
Yeah,
is.
there is one that has been held back because the U.S. is asking for a condition, something to do with
Yes.
the private data sharing, something like that.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
Kenya is also in the same dilemma with the same one because I think Kenya has pulled out of that one as well because they said they were gonna give us, I think, whatever the amount is in billions of dollars, but then they put this. I think the condition sort of came out after, the Trump
Yeah.
way of thinking. Yeah, so
Yeah.
is that one hasn't been signed.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
are
It seems
calling
like
it.
there's it's a big deal. What is your take,
Yeah.
people, in that on all these things that they're trying to get into the U.S. government, trying to do this and that? Again, a grant is money, is free money basically. They give you money, and so go ahead and take care of yourselves. You don't have
Mhm.
to pay it back. Correct. We are fine. We are
Right,
happy with
right,
that. But
Mhm.
then
right.
you don't get that much money. And I said it somewhere in one of the comments, like there's absolutely no way the US is going to just throw out that money at you and not ask for anything back.
No,
I
no.
commented on that. I'm like, there is
Mhm.
absolutely no way. There is a catch here. Something is going to have to give. And you know what? It wasn't long. I saw something that said, well, it's been held down because there was a critical mineral deal that was not agreed upon as a condition for the whole idea of the grant. And here
Yes.
we go again. Everybody wants to come into our country and get everything we have with conditions. So basically, they're paying forward to get what they want. I don't know
You
what
know,
your take is.
I think, my thinking was this. Look, if you saw recently, uh, Trump was between trying to, bridge a smooth talking or a peace treaty between Rwanda and the Congo. You can tell that Trump is actually now realizing to say, look, the way the world is moving, you need critical minerals.
Mhm.
He, for the first time in his life, he was the one condemning Zambia, all these African countries, saying all these people are bad and stuff like that, and not realizing, like, look, these are the countries that have the minerals that you need. China, at the other end, is coming in heavy, investing in Africa, especially Zambia. Europe, also the same thing. Now they tell him, they say, look, I think we're losing the game here. Okay? Because Trump is about power. All he wants is power. It's about power. I want to be, the biggest guy. I want to be controlling the world. But if you don't have the critical minerals, how are you going to do it? Then all of a sudden, you remember, Zambia was condemned. They took away all the aid they were giving us in terms of the aid from HIV and health sector. It all was taken away. President HS stood on his feet and he said, "Look, if you're not going to give us this, we're going to create our own manufacturing, companies, and we're going to work with countries that are going to work with us. We've already going to build a multi-billion-dollar, drug manufacturing country plant in Zambia with a connection with India and Egypt. So all these things, they're saying, like, look, nguyu muntu echechi muntu washanywa kwebati taretirimuka, okay, it's not even taretirimuka. No, all of a sudden his son came. All of a sudden, the secretary was on the phone with Mark Rubio. You can tell he just realized that, okay, I think I made a mistake because Zambia, the way we are here, we have all the elements and all the minerals that they need. We have them. And so we have the power to dictate how this economy is going to move. if we have a weak president like the one we had in the previous year, it would have been a different story. But now, because we have a president that knows what he's doing, it knows the direction of this country, he is not even, remember remember, come here, go America, come here, Italy, no, no. It doesn't matter if you don't meet Donald Trump. You don't like meeting Donald Trump doesn't mean that you remember who's this Ramaphosa was in the U.S. in White House, but what has happened now? He's still condemning South Africa after saying, "Oh, we even play golf together and stuff like that." You know, the personal relationship. Okay, but up to now, and look what he was talking about. How he was talking about Somalia. You know, so anyway, I don't even go there. I don't even want to go there.
Yeah, but you're saying everything right. I think we should be. I don't know. I don't know how much I trust the US, but I can even trust China on top of the US, because this idea of how they just come up and change their mind and tweak people around. Our countries, like especially ours, have a lot to lose by trying to like mortgage ourselves to bigger guys like them. Honestly, because in the end, once they take out the plug, it leaves our situation very, very, very bad and very vulnerable. I'm so glad that there's a balance of Chinese investments in there and American investment in there. And just today, actually, on social media, on my WhatsApp social media, I don't know. On my one of the videos that they posted on these groups that I'm in on WhatsApp, there was some kind of thermoelectric plant that was being moved from China, already assembled, just ready to start and installed in Zambia somewhere. So it seems like we are heading the right way when it comes to getting potential investments for our country regarding what we need. However,
so it's like
the just idea of thinking these people are just not coming in here to help or do anything. They are coming in to get our resources. I think it's something that it's a big conversation, obviously, but it's something that I hope our leadership is aware that these commitments are not for free or for just because we are good, but they came to help us in a way, because a lot of those things that we have our own resources, and we can probably do it on our own. But obviously, they're coming in there. They really should tighten up things to a point whereby they don't get too much out of what they're putting in.
Yeah,
that's my take. I don't know. I think it's eventually to be seen. It's yet to be seen what are these investments really all about.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
So the good thing with China is fast. You see, U.S. There's a delay. I was just reading through that agreement. The 1.5 has been delayed because the U.S. is looking for there's a condition regarding minerals. Okay, even it's for health, how they want to tie it to minerals or something. The 50 million we're talking about, that was a grant, but the 1.5, the signing has been delayed. But there's a difference between China and the U.S. China is fast. The president just talked about the diversification of power. I mean, has been talking about it, but since the last press conference, the Wonderful Industries, they are investing in something like 600 megawatts in Mamba of thermal. Okay, my nephew works for Zesco. They're already putting the power lines, transmission lines from Muzuma in Choma that will go all the way to Kafue. And those are the equipment you're talking about that was ready on their way from China to Zambia, because my buddy is the ambassador, Zambia ambassador to China. So they are fast. It's announced today, within 2 days, things are moving. US wants to put all these conditions and they're going to be left behind. The same with our drug requirements, medical requirements. I think Zambia partnered with India to build a manufacturing drug manufacturing firm at the outmost facility. That's already in place. Yeah, I mean, they already built. The construction is already started. So U.S. is still putting these conditions and what. I'm not saying they should not. Some of these countries, they don't care. You want this? That's the need. Let's go with it. So,
Trump. The government of Trump is the work is still working on that colonial, master kind of. I don't even want to talk too much about it, but so that's what it is. And if you look really deeply, the way our president moves or thinks, he is not going to sell Zambia. It's not going to sell Zambia. He can never, ever, 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 ever sell Zambia. He has that mindset that Kaunda had. The Kapwepwes, all those, old freedom fighters. That's the mindset that it has. So they would, sprinkle or try to, give us these little, tokens and stuff like that, try to hoodwink us. But we know what it is. Like, the world has moved on. We are no longer in the 60s. I think the sooner they realize that Africa is no longer in the old ways of long time ago, in the 60s, yes, it could pass. But not now. Not now. Because a lot of people are now awoke, and a lot of Zambians are thinking on the tip of their toes, and they're trying to figure out how we're going to move in this coming century. Like, how our children, our grandchildren are going to live, right? We don't just want to sell this country. Look, we are at an advantage right now because we are holding the most precious minerals in the world. Zambia actually, if it was up to them, they would rather have Zambia be civil war in Zambia. If it was up to them,
because the choice they have is Congo or Zambia, right? So Zambia is stable. So that's why these other investors, they are pouring in money. So they would rather all this penalizing Zambia, 15,000 on Zambian visitors, Zambia this, they just jealous, lack of a better word, jealous about Zambia's stability that is going to really develop fast. Because, like you said, the president has the mindset of the Kapwepwes and the Kaundas, but his is even faster, is relevant now. Something that has to be done now needs to be done now, not taking 2 years, something that can be done now. The U.S. is still has that the mindset of the 60s, who put these conditions, what they're gonna remain behind. What they could end up wishing for Zambia is to have this Zambia degenerating into another Congo or Somalia, because that's what they want. Now they can get all these minerals just dealing with M23. They don't have to deal with the government,
And look, Zambia has all the minerals that Congo has.
Yeah.
Zambia has all the minerals that Angola has.
Yeah.
Zambia, we haven't even, we have oil in Zambia. We haven't even tapped that level. We've got diamonds in Zambia. We haven't even tapped that. You know what I mean?
We have gas.
You see? So
gas.
Zambia is rich. And that's what I'm saying. Like, look, Wakaunda died with a lot of secrets because he knew. He had first-hand information when the first mapping was done in Zambia. They gave him that first data. He had it. Okay? He knew where everything, all the minerals were lying. But he died with that history. And that being said, it's okay. we can do the modern day data. That's why I'm saying, look, we need to have a modern day data streaming system where we can know where our minerals are. And it's being done. Once it's done, complete, we have what you call it? At the negotiating table, you have that, the hand to say, look, if you want to come here, this is what it is. Because you know already. Let nobody tell you that, oh, no, here, we know, or what, or what. No, 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 no. We know what it is, and we know where it is, and what it is. What do you want? And this is what mineral you want? This is what, these are our conditions. Let's give people, for a change, let's start giving the other side the conditions, so that they can, apply to our conditions. Other than them just preaching. You can imagine in the 60s, nobody was, people were just coming in, getting, moving there, there were, planes, there were farms, they were just, simply just drive out with minerals. You know what I mean? Like, there was no control. The Zambians, there were very few, very, very, very few educated Zambians in the 60s. Now we've got a lot of people that are educated. And we need those people now to come on board and say, look, let us put things in order so that nobody can come and take advantage of what we have. The minerals that we haven't even discovered yet. We're just tapping on the surface right now as we speak. We're just talking about copper. Gold is just being miraculously being discovered. Gold. Okay? You can imagine nobody knew that there was gold in Zambia. If people are saying that gold has been in Zambia, people knew that there was gold in Zambia for years. Okay?
Yep.
Go ahead, Wadan.
Yeah, I'm just listening to you. Really, my only observation is that I don't know how many people have realized that there have been 3 major signing ceremonies or negotiation meetings between Zambia and the U.S. within a 1 month period. Within 1 month, we have done 3 major country to country, big negotiations, which is very odd in my view. We started with that meeting where they sent these diplomats to come in and talk about the visit. The U.S. officials came to Zambia and talked about the U.S.-Zambia collaborative in mining and all that type of thing, and we signed some stuff. Now, when they came to Zambia, we didn't conclusively sign that agreement to work with them. They went back to the U.S., they called our ZDA, Zambia Development Agency, and then they signed these, using their companies, they signed these agreements with some mining firms there on minerals. And just this week, they come back again, they want to sign another agreement. They want to give us 1.5 billion on our health sector for the next 5 years. But then they put strings attached let's sign that agreement we had in Lusaka last week. So you see where they're coming from. They are basically trying to twist our arms to sign an agreement so that they give us 1.5 for the next, from 2026 to 2030 on the health, whatever they call it, health sector partnership. Yeah. But as you have said, I think Africa is awake now. We are not going to be fooled anymore. And knowing our president is definitely the right person at this moment. He's a good negotiator. He knows what is good for our country. I don't think he's gonna let Zambia lose out in some of these things. And the good thing is, unlike in the past, where we used to have these so-called colonial powers come here and then threaten us with, this and that, and they were using so many methods, divide and rule methods. They would divide us, and some of the times, you remember, they used to give us some economic incentives tied with some very strict rules whereby at the end of the day, the country loses out. Okay. Sometimes in countries which are very only two religions, like Nigeria and all that, they will use that to divide people so that they start fighting and stuff like that. So those days are gone. Those days are gone. And also, they used to use our ignorance of not knowing what we had to exploit our resources. Now we know what we have. So it will be very difficult for them to come here and dupe us into signing some of these agreements. So whatever they want to do, I think they will not succeed. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Fantastic. Oh, let me stop. Oh, Mr. Mwanza is gone already. All right. So yeah, I think we need to close. We've been on for a long time. We even forgot what the time is. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us today. We're gonna meet next week, unless there's something last thing that you want to discuss or anything that you want to put across. Last words, last remarks. Mr. Danny?
There are so many have occurred in the past few weeks. I think we should dedicate that next time.
Next time, yeah. I know there's so many. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
All right. Thank you, and we'll chat soon. Thank you, and have a good evening right there in Puerto Rico.